Hello, welcome to this 30-minute guided meditation. My name is Sasha. So today, as you can see, I'm outdoors in the beautiful Maine woods. So we'll be doing a walking meditation today. I'll be walking outside on some of these trails. So I'd recommend, if you have a nice outdoor space, maybe put your shoes on, get yourself set up for that. This isn't so conducive to a small space like walking around your apartment. You could give it a go, but if you have some nature nearby, that's great. Or if you just want to walk around the streets of whatever city you're in, that also works. And so while you get yourself set up for that, I'll just talk about a little why we might do a walking meditation and the different kind of walking meditations that are possible. So if you've been following these series of meditations, you might have done with me before a very slow walking meditation, and that is one style of doing it where the walking is super slow, super methodical, and you try to pay very specific attention, and the slowness is a part of trying to pay that very specific attention to each sensation perhaps in the body or the things around you. Today we're going to do a bit of a quicker walking meditation, walking more at a normal pace. And for this meditation, what's really great is that you can kind of take these concepts that we'll discover today together and then kind of bring them into a little easier than the slow, bring them into whatever walking that you're doing throughout the day. Or if you're just enjoying a walk on its own, you can kind of think of these things as you go. So if you need more time to get your shoes on, get yourself set up, pause that video, and then once you're ready, we'll begin walking now. I'll give you a view of what I'm seeing right now. So we'll start actually with a little bit of breath here as we're walking together. And as you're walking along, you can just take a few deep breaths. And maybe take an inhale through the nose and an exhale out through the mouth. And take that a few times. And if you're walking right now, feel free to just put the phone or whatever you have with you in your pocket, and you can just listen along, audio only. So that might be a good option if you're walking around with a phone in front of you. So just taking those deep breaths. And now let's begin to time our breath and our walking together. So whatever pace you're going at right now, just start to feel that rhythm of the right, left in your body. And we'll take an inhale for 4 steps. Inhaling 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhaling 2, 3, 4. So whatever that pace is for you, you're kind of creating your own metronome here with your steps. 4 steps for the inhale, right, left. 4 steps for your exhale, right, left. And just keeping this nice and steady. And as you are breathing and walking together, of course, multitasking, something that we do throughout our whole day, breathe and walk together. Just notice the sensations associated with each. There's probably a lot going on if you really start to notice. There's the breath in your torso and your nose, and as you're walking there's the feeling of your feet hitting the ground, your legs swinging, your arms perhaps swinging. And now if this 4-count or 4-step breath is feeling really good, feel free to stay here. Or if you want to start to deepen the breath a little bit more, you can transition into a 5-step breath. So same thing, just adding 1 extra step on the inhale and 1 extra step on the exhale. And here, throughout this breath practice, I'd recommend, if you can, breathing in and out through your nose. Although if that isn't possible for you to sustain, please just breathe in a way that feels sustainable for you. So that could be through the mouth or both mouth and nose, alternating either one. And just notice if any of the sensations of your breath in your body have changed as you've increased the length of your breath. And please take 1 or 2 more rounds of this 5-step, 5-count breath. And if this is feeling really good, then feel free to stay here. Or for our last round, we'll move on to a 6-count, 6-step breath. And again, just letting your own body, your own breath determine that pace. And so linking the breath and our movement together, and in this case specifically the breath and steps together, can be very helpful if, say, you're a runner. I know sometimes when I run, I like to try to link my breath and steps together to create this really steady rhythm. Can feel helpful. Or really any other physical activity, whether it's a sport or just doing maybe household chores, it can be useful to link your breath and your body together. It can help to focus your mind as well, help you physically perform whatever you're performing a little more efficiently. So please take 1 or 2 last rounds of this intentional, coordinated breath with your steps. And then once you're through with that, you can just return into your natural breath. And without trying to control your breath too much, just let it come and go. Again, breathing in whatever way that feels natural for you, in and out through your nose or your mouth, or a combination of the two. And so now as you're walking, feeling not only this natural breath that's just happening at whatever rhythm it's happening, and feeling the steps happening, and also whatever natural rhythm that it's occurring. You don't have to think too hard about how those are pairing up now. Just let it be however it's going to be. Now, instead of controlling these two processes and their relationship to one another, just feeling what naturally happens and feeling all the sensations that are associated with both. So you might be feeling the pressure on the soles of your feet as you're walking. You might be feeling the swing of your lower leg, maybe the sense of your clothing as it brushes against your leg, the joint of your knee moving. Feeling the work that perhaps your upper leg, your hamstring, up into your glutes, noticing their effort to keep you traveling forward. Feeling the joint of your hips, the whole leg swinging forward and back beneath your hips. There might be a little sway from right to left as each leg steps forward. Perhaps feeling that bit of sway ricochet up into your waist and your torso. And as you feel your torso, maybe feeling all those sensations of the breath living in your torso as well. And just noticing where the breath feels most prominent. If it's up higher, up into your chest, or in your ribs, or your back, or down lower into your belly. Just feeling that wherever it is in your torso. And feeling the joint of your shoulders, perhaps how your arms swing forward and back, just the natural weightedness through the palms. Just noticing up into your neck and your head, how your body is carrying your head forward on top of your spine. And there is likely a little bit of natural movement through your head and neck as you turn your gaze to navigate your space around you. just noticing the body as a whole now, whatever sensations are coming up as you're walking. All these parts of your body might be available for you to feel. And you might be feeling your whole body at once. You might be feeling a few parts at once, or one part of your body might kind of come up into the forefront of your mind. And you can just notice whichever one of those is happening for you. So keeping this sense of your body, not only do we feel our body internally, but we also kind of have a sense of our body moving through space. And this sense is also connected into our vision. So, of course, our eyes are open for this meditation so we know where we're going. And you can begin to wake up your visual field and noticing what you see in front of you. Feel free to turn your head, look around. You can notice the kind of zoomed in details of some specific parts of your environment. Then also kind of just let your gaze be wider and really take in the whole periphery of the scene around you. And we have this felt sense of our body moving towards space, the sensation of it in our body, and then that's also complemented by the visual sense of us moving towards something, things passing through our vision into being out of sight. And you can keep this wide open kind of awareness of your visual field. You don't have to control where you see, just like we're not controlling the breath and we're not controlling what we feel in our body. You can just notice what you see as it comes into your field of vision. And with our seeing, with our feeling, our body can also sense what we hear as well. If you're outside, there's likely some kind of noises around you. And even if you're in a relatively quiet area, like I am at the moment, you might still hear those subtle sounds of near silence. And it's all a part of your experience, all a part of the meditation. So sometimes when we do seated meditation in a more formal way, you can sometimes have the sense that you're trying to work hard to create a really perfect environment, trying to close your eyes, let yourself be removed from the visual distractions, maybe trying to find silence, let yourself be removed from auditory distractions. Whereas here in this walking meditation, we're intentionally opening it up, intentionally allowing all these parts of our experience that we can never really shut out completely. We're allowing them to really be the focus of our meditation. And sometimes for me, the choicelessness and openness of awareness can be really the most clear with hearing. Whatever you hear just appears within the next moment. You can't choose the next thing you're going to hear. You're almost forced into this open awareness of whatever comes up. And so continuing to broaden our senses and include everything into our experience. If you're outside, there's likely some kind of smell wherever you are as well, and whether that's pleasant or not so pleasant, you can just notice what that is for you. And with all these parts of our experience, the feeling in our body, our sight, smell, hearing, we may also have some kind of internal reaction to what we're perceiving. We might react with thoughts or feelings or kind of images of association. And so while those are natural and very likely to come up, the goal is just to be aware of them, not to shut them out completely, but just notice these other thoughts, feelings that are coming up for you as well. And when you notice that you've become maybe lost in a train of thought, if you've rode a train of association for a few minutes and just realized that you hopped on that train without meaning to, I'd encourage you just to come back into your immediate surroundings. So while we don't have a one-pointed focus for this meditation, whereas sometimes we're only focusing on the breath, for example, we're focusing on the openness of our awareness, the openness of all these sensations together. So when you become very distracted, lost in thought, just bring yourself back into all these sensations that are happening in the present moment. And this practice doesn't have to be serious or full of lots of effort. It might be a little more accessible for you walking here as opposed to a formal seated meditation, to maybe access some natural sense of enjoyment, of pleasure. It might feel good to move your body. It might feel good to bring yourself out of your own head and into a little more of the experiences around you, the sights you're seeing, the things you're hearing. And so, just inviting the sense of natural enjoyment, if it's there, for whatever is happening. Perhaps a sense of gratitude to be able to move, to be able to experience the world wherever you are. And so these ideas, these ways of approaching meditation and approaching a walk are, of course, available to you anytime that you choose to go on perhaps a intentional walk, or maybe just in the moments where you're walking to the subway or to your car. Just noticing a little more of your present experience in whatever place you're in whatever moment you're in. And this sense of openness and maybe a little enjoyment and fun as you're walking could also be applied to your regular seated meditation. So if you have a regular seated meditation practice and you're feeling maybe a little constrained or a lot of effort going into it, it feels hard, one option is to really open it up, invite all these things, the sounds, the sights, the smells, and more into the experience. So feel free to continue walking, continue noticing what's around you. And this concludes our meditation today. Have a great day.